It is the 28th of November 2024. Good morning and welcome. You're watching the Breakfast Rundown on TV1. We're coming to you live and direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Well, the weather's dominating this morning's Breakfast Rundown once again. But of course, we have latest developments coming in from the Middle East as far as news overseas is concerned. So do stay tuned with us right throughout for these stories in detail. Let's first move on to your weather update for this morning. The Met Department says the deep depression over the southwest Bay of Bengal was located to east about 120 kilometers away from Trincomalee at around 8:30 a.m. yesterday. It is likely to move closer to the east coast of Sri Lanka and intensify further into a cyclonic storm during the next 12 hours. Under influence of the system, cloudy skies will prevail over most parts of the island. Very heavy showers and strong gusty winds can be expected in the northern, north central, eastern, northwestern and central provinces as well. Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the northern, north central, central, western and northwestern provinces and in the Trincomalee and Kegalle districts. Very heavy showers above 150 millimeters are likely at some places. Showers will occur at times elsewhere over the island as well. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places. Strong winds of about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the northern, north central, central, western, northwestern, southern and eastern provinces of Sri Lanka. As always, the general public is requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Well, meanwhile, the Director General of the Department of Meteorology, Karunaratne, says that the depression is showing a tendency to move away from the island of Sri Lanka. He adds that by the 29th and 30th of November, it would gradually move towards the coastline of Tamil Nadu in India. Therefore, rainfall can be expected across the island until the 29th of November. However, rainfall is expected to significantly reduce over these next couple of days. Meanwhile, the Mahaweli Authority of Sri Lanka says that sluice gates of many Mahaweli reservoirs have been opened. The authority adds that the sluice gates of the Bovathanna, Dambuluoya, Kalababa, Rantambe, Lokgalloya, Kotmale and Victoria reservoirs have been opened in this manner. The sluice gates of the Randanigala reservoir will also be opened if rainfall intensifies over the next few hours within the day. Due to the water of these reservoirs being released into the Mahaweli River, the water levels of the Mahaweli River could also rise. The Mahaweli Authority informs residents of low-lying areas around the river to exercise caution in this regard. Meanwhile, landslide red alerts have been issued for the Madadumbara, Udunuwara, Ududumbara, Doluwa, Pathahewahata, Harispattuwa, Pathadumbara, Yatinuwara, Deltota, Gangawata Korala and Udapalata Divisional Secretariat divisions in the Kandy district, citing the prevailing heavy rains experienced by this region. A landslide red alert has also been issued for the Balapane Divisional Secretariat division in the Nuwara Elia district. Meanwhile, red alerts for landslides were also issued, covering the Ukubela, Amanganga Korala, Nabula, Bilgamua, Yatavatta, Pallepula and Matale, Rattota, Laggala and Pallegama Divisional Secretariat divisions in the Mathura district of Sri Lanka. In addition, landslide warnings have been issued for multiple Divisional Secretariat divisions of the Badulla, Kegalle, Kurunegala, Colombo and Gampaha districts as well. People who reside near slopes and mountainous regions are advised to exercise caution in this regard. Meanwhile, the Biagama and Malvana areas were inundated yesterday due to the rise of water levels of the Kalani River as a result of the prevailing heavy rains. Our Newsfirst correspondent says that byroads in these areas also remain submerged. Meanwhile, a landslide occurred in the Kamde Kumbura village in the Balapane Divisional Secretariat Division. Another landslide was reported on the Pulvatta Thanna road, which connects the Kandigal Thanna and Ampitia main roads. Over 100 families have been affected by this situation. Meanwhile, 2 more dead bodies of the children who disappeared after a tractor toppled due to high-pressure water flow near the Mavadi Bridge in Ampara were discovered last evening. Now, this brings the number of bodies recovered to 4. Around 60 students of a madrasa near Nindavur, Ampara, were sent home in a bus due to flooding caused due to very heavy showers in the area. 11 students were sent home in a tractor due to the floods along the Mavadipalli Samanture road due to heavy showers. The students were accompanied by 2 others. 2 bicycles were also transported in this tractor. However, this tractor unexpectedly overturned near the Mavadipalli Bridge in Karethivu. Well, the severe weather conditions with heavy rainfall affecting the island have impacted 21 districts across Sri Lanka. A total of 330,894 individuals of 98,635 families have been affected. The Disaster Management Centre of Sri Lanka says that additionally 26,625 people are sheltered in 267 relief centres. Another 59,697 individuals from 17,635 families are staying with their relatives. The number of completely damaged houses stands at 82, while 1,465 houses have suffered partial damage. The Disaster Management Centre has also reported 6 fatalities due to the ongoing inclement weather conditions experienced by the country. Meanwhile, taking into consideration the prevailing adverse weather conditions experienced by the country, the deadline to apply for the Aswasuma Social Welfare Programme has been extended once again until the 9th of December 2024. The initial deadline was set for the 2nd of December 2024. This deadline was extended with the intention of providing relief to the disaster-affected people who also wish to apply for the Aswasuma Social Welfare Programme. Allow me to shift your attention to news overseas for this morning. News overseas is coming in from the Middle East. A ceasefire between Israel and Lebanese armed group Hezbollah was held on Wednesday under a deal brokered by the United States of America and France as people in both countries began returning to homes in the border area shattered by 14 months of fighting. The agreement, which is a rare diplomatic feat in a region racked by conflict, ended the deadliest confrontation between Israel and the Iran-backed militant group in years. However, Israel is still fighting its other archfoe, the Palestinian militant group Hamas, in the Gaza Strip of the Middle East. Cars and vans piled high with mattresses, suitcases and even furniture streamed through the heavily bombed Lebanese port city of Tyre, heading south, carrying some of the roughly 1.4 million people believed to have been uprooted by the conflict currently prevailing in the Middle East. In the first statement by Hezbollah's Operations Center, since the truce was announced, the group made no direct mention of the ceasefire and vowed to continue its resistance. Hezbollah said its fighters remain fully equipped to deal with the aspirations and assaults of the Israeli enemy. Its forces will monitor Israel's withdrawal from Lebanon with their hands on the trigger, as they say. The group has been weakened by casualties and the killing of its leader Syed Hassan Nasrallah by Israel. The ceasefire aims to end a conflict across the Israeli-Lebanese border that has killed at least 3,768 people in Lebanon since it was ignited by the Gaza war in 2023. Well, our second international story for this morning also concerns Israel. Now, Israel will appeal against the International Criminal Court's arrest warrants for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant. Judges last week issued warrants for the two men, along with Hamas military commander Mohammad Deif, saying there were reasonable grounds to believe the three men bore criminal responsibility for alleged war crimes and crimes against humanity in the Gaza Strip. Israel's government, along with Netanyahu and Gallant, strongly rejected these accusations that were made against them. Now, on Wednesday, the Prime Minister's office said it had informed the ICC of its, quote, intention to appeal the court along with a demand to delay implementation of those arrest warrants, unquote. It reiterated that Israel both denied the authority of the ICC and the legitimacy of the warrants against Netanyahu and Gallant. Netanyahu's office said U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham had updated Netanyahu on the efforts that he is advancing in the U.S. Congress against the ICC and countries that have cooperated with it. U.S. President Joe Biden called the warrants outrageous last week. Well, that brings to a close this morning's edition of the Breakfast Rundown. I'm Therunee Karunaratne. I'll see you tomorrow right here on TV1 at the same time, 7 a.m. Until then, take care. Have a wonderful day ahead.